I never thought wearing a veil would wash away my past. People think once you enter the convent, you become holy overnight. But I knew better. I carried my past with me, like a shadow I could not shake off. When I arrived at St. Gabriel's Parish, everyone treated me with respect. They called me Sister Angela, gave me a small room, and welcomed me as one of their own. They didn't know that before the veil, I had lived a different life in the past. I was on the streets, selling myself to survive. I hated it, but I didn't know any other way. When the chance came to join the convent, I grabbed it, hoping to bury everything. But the truth is, the past never really stays buried. Life in the convent was strict: early morning prayers, work in the day, silence in the night. Outwardly, it was peace. But inside, I felt restless. And that was how my eyes fell on Father Michael. He was the golden priest of St. Gabriel's. Young, strong, and loved by the people. His sermons filled the church, his voice carried power, and his smile gave hope. But behind all that, I saw something else: a man struggling with loneliness. I recognized it because I knew the feeling myself. At first, I only played small games. A smile too long, a question after evening prayers, sitting close when I could have sat far. Slowly, I saw him bend. He tried to avoid me, but the wall began to crack. One rainy night, I broke down in front of him, telling him about my past. He touched my hand to comfort me, and that was how the line disappeared. It didn't stop there. Nights in the garden, frequent moments in his quarters, meetings in the empty library, it became our secret. We both knew it was wrong, but we kept going back. Each time we promised it would be the last. Each time, it wasn't. Then my body betrayed me. I missed my period. I started vomiting in the mornings. I couldn't hide it. Fear filled me, but I believed Father Michael would stand by me. I thought he loved me enough to face it. When I told him, everything changed. His eyes hardened, his voice turned sharp. He told me to keep quiet, that nobody would believe me. He even said maybe the child wasn't his because of the life I lived before. That broke me. The same man who held me in secret was now throwing me into the mud. I carried his child while watching him climb the altar every Sunday, preaching about purity, warning others about sin. Each word he spoke cut through me like a knife. I wanted to scream, but I held it in. It wasn't long before others noticed. Sister Grace kept staring at me with suspicion. Parishioners whispered. Then the parish council called me in. The room was filled with priests, senior sisters, and important parishioners. They questioned me, and when I couldn't hold it in anymore, I told them the truth. I said Father Michael was the father of my child. The room went silent. Everyone turned to him. He sat calm, shaking his head, denying me. He said I was lying, that I was trying to destroy him. His confidence made me look like a madwoman. In the end, the council decided he would remain, though under discipline. That meant fewer duties, quiet investigations, and counseling. They didn't want to lose him. They needed him. But me. They said I had broken my vows, that I was a stain on the convent. They gave me a small bag with my clothes and sent me out. That night, as I stood outside the gates of St. Gabriel's, I cried until my body shook. The parish bells rang, reminding me that life inside was still going on, but for me, it was finished. Life outside was harder than I imagined. Some people in town had already heard the whispers. They pointed fingers when I passed. Some laughed, others shook their heads in pity. Nobody offered help. I rented a small room behind the market, where the smell of fish and smoke filled the air. I started selling groundnuts and water just to survive. Each morning, I hid my face with a scarf, avoiding the eyes of those who might recognize me. As my stomach grew, I felt the weight of shame and the weight of the child together. Sometimes I hated myself, sometimes I hated Father Michael. Other times, I just sat in silence, wondering how I had reached this point. Still, every Sunday when the bells of St. Gabriel's rang in the distance, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. Behind those walls, Father Michael still preached, still walked in respect, while I carried his child in shame. That is the story of how I lost the convent, the veil, and the respect I once thought I had gained. Now, I live with my shadow again. Only this time, the shadow is not just my past, it is also the future I carry inside me.